Hello and welcome to Demon Reviews, episode 73. Episode 73. The counter was being weird for a second, so if part of the intro's gone, that's fine. Okay, and I'm your host, Springy.
And I'm your host, Scar Cosplays.
And joining us today is our very special guests.
I'm Chaon Caruthers.
I'm Leo Navarro.
Woo! They're back again.
Oh God.
I wasn't gonna, but it's been a year at least, and by the time this episode comes out, it will definitely have been a year for both of you since you guys are on the show. I think we did not have a script when either one of you were on the show, so most of these questions will be new. So even if they're not, it's been a year. There's probably a different answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember last time it was just free rolling.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Then definitely we have gotten a script since then. But I'll go first with the question. It's a very complicated question. Very long, very complicated. Would you rather eat Cheetos or go on a hike?
Oh, I remember this question. Shannon, that was the same one they asked us the first time, wasn't it?
I believe so, and that my answer's still eating Cheetos. I hate going on hikes. It'll remind me of my time.
I think I said hikes the first time. I'd rather go on a hike than eat Cheetos.
Well then.
Kids, on the other hand.
Yeah.
Next question. What is the one thing that people want to know about your characters?
I'll answer that one. For my characters, especially with Leo's and everybody else's, is their backstories of where they came from. What is their past? Are they connected to any of the characters that are around in the TikTok universe from other creators and everything like that? It all is like developing a new universe, such as like Marvel, DC, and so on and so forth. That's what they really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want to know anything about Undertale because apparently our fans know everything and more than we do about Undertale.
Yeah.
It's a cult.
Except it's the worst cult because 75% of it has minors and all the rest of it is just weird adults. They're more weird than us.
If you're not one of those weird adults, we apologize. Just ignore that comment. But if you are one of the weird adults, we're talking about you.
You in particular.
Jeez.
You make bronies look sane, okay?
Wow.
They're like cringing right now watching this going, yeah.
It's just like a soda can, just crushing it, just crushing it.
Oh, well.
I don't know about you, Chanon, but I think some of the weirdest comments I've ever gotten probably come from the Undertale universe. And duets. Some of the cringiest duets.
Oh man, I've actually gotten.
Me and Springy know a fair thing about that.
What were you gonna say, Chanon?
I was about to say I got some insulting comments from this little kid or something like that says the reason why my fan base is not increasing is because I left the Undertale fan base or something like that. I turned down on their fans, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's their loss. I'm sorry, because I did that one just for the fun of it, and I rolled with it for a little. It was on somebody's Instagram page. It was on their Facebook page. And then it became an advertisement on Facebook for a while, along with everybody else. And then afterwards, it's like this. Yeah, but technically, this is not mine. This is not my character. This belongs to the Undertale franchise. This is not original content. This is just me having some fun. And they're like, yeah. But when are you going to do more of it? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm going to focus on my original content very much. Yeah.
I don't know how many times you and I have talked, Shannon, about just never going back to it. It's like, seriously, if you guys only knew how much we talked about that, it's one of the cringiest conversations I think he and I have. I've always wanted to know, and I don't think I've ever asked Chanon this question. Chanon, what did you know it was Sans when you did it? I mean, did you know it was Undertale, or did you just come across it and say, "Oh, look, yeah, cool character. I'll copy. I'll cosplay that one."
Yeah, no, I knew it was Sans. I knew about the Undertale franchise, but only like a little bit, like a certain percentage of it. I knew who Sans was because of some other um, memes or something like that that was attached to it, and then I did some research. And my oldest, by the time, was following up on Undertale, and then I've also done some research off of them. And then I was like, well, you know what? One Halloween, I decided to dress up as this because I found a blue jacket and I had a white undershirt and I had black and white makeup and the white mesh contacts, and I thought, you know what? I'm about to experiment a little bit. And then boom, as simple as possible, I came up with that Sans look, and then I just did the fake walk and everything like that with that welcome to the underground, and then next thing you know, it blew up, and I'm like.
We all have that one video that blew up unexpectedly. We look back on it and say, "What the hell was I thinking?"
Actually, if Shannon, I don't think I said this in the last interview because I don't think we talked too much about Undertale. I mean, obviously it came up, but the very first video I did with Shannon with Undertale, I actually painted. If you go way down to my videos, it's down there. I actually painted papyrus on it. And I didn't know crap about it. My kids actually saw it and they were like, "Oh, Dad, that's Undertale and that's Chaon Caruthers." And I was like, "Oh, okay, who the hell is that?" And they were like, "Oh, it's a really popular video on TikTok. This is Undertale. Let me show you what it is." And I was like, "Oh, damn, there's another skeleton. Oh, crap, I can do that." So we actually got like garbage bags and everything and tried to echo everything that Shannon did, lighting and everything. And I painted on papyrus. And let me tell you something. If Shannon would have only liked, he said he never saw it, by the way, till way later. If he would have only liked that video, I probably would have never done the other papyrus, the full latex mask. Because I told this to Shannon. I said, "Damn, man, that hurt my ego." I was like, "Are you kidding? I got a lot of likes." And I was kind of like, "Man, I can do better than this. You know what? Watch this." And I decided to do the full face prosthetic and bring them back. And that was when they contacted Shannon and were like, "Dude, you need to check this papyrus out." And it was me still, but not painted, but with the latex. But if he would have just liked that video, I probably would have never done it again, to be honest with you. I laughed about it later. I told Shannon, I said, "Dude, it was my ego. It was totally an ego trip to try to freaking one up and do a better version and do my own thing with papyrus." And damn, man, now I kick myself in the balls for that one.
Oops.
But I will say this, if it wasn't for that, I don't think Shannon and I would have been friends. I have to say the one great thing that came out of it is that man right there. He is a gem to have as a friend.
The power of friendship.
Yeah, the power of ego.
Yeah.
It's strong. So the next question. Favorite holiday, because that's a new one we put on here.
Halloween.
Favorite holiday? Sorry, that broke up a little bit. Yeah, Halloween.
That better be every interviewee's answer, by the way, if they're from TikTok.
And if it's not, we're coming for you.
Jesus. Let your freak flag.
There is a reason behind Halloween. Yeah. So there was a reason why I like Halloween. Mainly because of the fact that it is the one holiday that is actually technically not overwritten by any other religious practice. It actually still has its original meaningful with the idea of Samhain, also known as All Hallows Eve, which is actually in praisal of the dead. Like it's kind of a way of the dead rising and actually walking among and being among us. And that's the reason why people are dressed up, is that way it can fool them in a way to make it seem like that they're not dead. And it was never overwritten from the very beginning. Because if you think about it, school systems and all kinds of stuff that is kind of being a little too overly political, they like to change these, just not make it seem like it's obscene or obscure, except for Halloween. Because the one thing that is an addition is just trick-or-treating. There was no meaning behind it. They just added that on there to make it fun for the kids. But
actually, I know the origin. During the original medieval celebrations of Samhain or All Hallows Eve, there were homeless or poor people would go around people's houses asking for food in exchange for prayers, and that's how trick or treating actually came to be.
Okay.
I did not know.
Up on that one. That's actually...
You learn something new every day.
Yeah,
you guys.
And
Sorry, Chaon, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just lingering on with just a comment. I was also about to say something about with I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Cut this part out.
Oh, you think we know how to do that now? We still don't know how to do anything. Oh.
All right, Chanon, we got to show them some of the apps we use for editing.
Have you guys seen me going about to go like this? It's because Scar just got a webcam, and I always just say he's definitely going. So my brain is just like, I need to go like this when I talk to him, not just point at the screen. So if you see me about to do that, that's why, because I'm losing my mind.
Oh.
The small that I have left. So I believe it is Scar's turn with the next question.
Yes. Any upcoming conventions you'd like to have us know about?
Like
I
TikTok?
actually don't know.
Like cons you're going to.
I wish I could be going to cons. In fact, recently I wanted to go to KatsuCon. That was up in Virginia, I believe, but that one
DC.
that just recently happened. Yeah. Oh, was it DC? Okay, I thought it was Virginia. But any other cons this year, I'm probably not going to be able to go. Even if I did, I don't have the money for it, and I wish I could, raise a GoFundMe though. But that's a tall order to ask, and sometimes, whenever I do ask for, handouts or ask people to donate or something like that, it's for other good causes like, paying a bill that has to be paid because I'm a little short on my paycheck and so on and so forth, stuff like that. I don't feel comfortable asking, for charitable donations unless I absolutely need it. And going to a con is not exactly a need; it's more of a want. I really want to go, but I'd rather pay out of pocket instead of ask for a donation. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going to get his ass to come down to Florida this year, I swear. But I am, my family, we decided, yeah, I'm going to come pick your ass up, don't worry. April 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, Orlando is having MegaCon. And I told my kids last year, I said, that's what we're going to end up going to. So yeah, I'm gonna go pick up.
You know what?
Lady Strange is over here going, yes. He's going.
Oh, dude, I've been hearing a lot about MegaCon ever since I'm 13. MegaCon was the one con I've been wanting to go to ever since I was 13 years old. I'm 29, so do the math. 29, 13. That's how many years I've been wanting to go to MegaCon.
Yeah, this year, actually, I looked at the lineup. I'm not gonna lie. As far as like the actors and stuff that are gonna be there, I was a little disappointed. I went a few years ago, and I got to meet Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd. So that was like the highlight of my first ever MegaCon. I'm not a big con guy. My kids are the big cosplayers and MegaCon going. I never really got into cosplay until TikTok. Never even considered myself a cosplayer. I think I became more of a cosplayer after I became friends with Shannon when he inspired me to do a couple different OCs like Rhino. I have to give Shannon that. Rhino is more his baby than mine. I did some sketches and he did some things and we came up with Rhino. And and a couple of other things. But yeah, for the most part, this will be my second time ever actually going to any con whatsoever, and it's more for the kids. But we are going to dress up. We decided that on one of the days that I'll do Professor Otto, and my daughter's going to do Liz. So, and I think that's really the only costume we might end up taking. But that's about it. Then we're just going to kind of go around normal.
Cool.
Yeah, and for me, if I were to be, do any of my OCs, for a weekend on a con, one day it would be Hawk Harlequin, most definitely. Second day it would definitely be Doc Shock, and third it would be Pastor the Fox, because a lot of people have been really admiring Haster a lot, and definitely Doc Shock. And Hawk, he's my baby. He's my actual first OC, and he was created through a haunted attraction back in 2014. And he wasn't always like that. He went through several stages of different makeup designs, different wardrobe changes, and everything like that. So, yeah, he's been through a lot.
Awesome.
I'll find out how much an airline ticket is from where you're at to me. We'll get him a big surprise at MegaCon. Chaon Caruthers headlining.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. My brain turns off randomly because I was like, I can't remember. So I'm gonna do the stereotypical YouTube thing really quickly. I'm sorry, but don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you have any questions for either one of these lovely fellows, then you can put it in the description below. And if we ever get them back on the show again, then we can ask them to them then. That was my little say about that. Let me just go into the next question. The next question is reading through them, making sure. Who is your favorite original character to dress up as and or act as?
Yeah, right.
That's actually a really tough question because I have to say the one that's because I'm like indecisive with many of mine, but if anything, I most definitely would have to say Hawk Harlequin is my most favorite because he's energetic, he's crazy, he's funny, and every time I bring out this persona of Jim Carrey's mask, or maybe a portion of Deadpool or something that is just comic relief, that brings everybody joy and laughter. That's just where I'm like, yep, that's his main goal as a clown, is going to make people laugh, and he's not one of those stereotypically coulrophobia clowns with the polka dots like Ronald McDonald or anything like that. No, he actually looks badass, and you don't look at him like that. You're just like, what are you? You're kind of looking like a clown, but you're not really a clown. So what are you? You're funny, though.
He is your most animated. I have to say, he's your most animated character. He really is. He's definitely fun. He's fun to play against, too. You'd have such a bar with him that when you duet him, you got to be on point to duet Hawk. He's a lot of fun. Let's see. As far as mine, you're gonna laugh, but recently probably my cosplay of Pitbull because it's the easiest one.
Hey. When it works, it works.
Dude, I'm not kidding. That was a lot of pressure, man. I had a lot of people saying, "You look like Pitbull. You should cosplay Pitbull. You look like Pitbull." And I'm just like, you know what? And then Lady Strange and my kids were like, "Do it." I was like, fine, whatever. So I did it. That was actually really fun. But I'd have to say after him, Rhino. Rhino's probably my favorite. He's the most badass and meanest looking one. I have a lot of fun with him.
Awesome.
Next question. This question comes from Discount Yam, who asks, "What is your favorite animal?"
I'm actually a bird person. I grew up on birds. I had parrots when I was growing up. I had conures. I've also had a couple of parakeets as well, cockatiels. And I had a Amazon yellowback nape for like maybe 6 years. 8 years I had an African gray, and I had a couple of cockatoos, and now I have like a zoo around in my house of different kinds of animals. But definitely,
That's not
all
including his
confirmed.
kids.
The one
Mine too. Trust me.
yeah.
We have zoos.
Yeah, most definitely. The one bird that is my all-time favorite is a black palm Goliath cockatoo. That they're like the rarest type of birds that you could ever find anywhere out there, and they're so gorgeous, especially with their red cheeks around with the large black crest, and all the rest of their feathers are black. It's beautiful to look, you know.
Dude, I did not know you were a bird person. That is awesome.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Never had one. Well, that's not true. I had a couple, but they were my kids. I'm a dog person. My boxer, he's my baby.
I just looked up that bird. It looks really, really good.
So the next question is going to be coming from a past guest. I would say about episode 10. A little bit more of an obscure person, but you know, a Chaon Caruthers on it. You're going to be the star of a movie. Who would you want your co-star to be, and what genre of movie would it be?
I can tell you the genre off the top of that. It would be horror comedy, most likely. And
Scary
for the
movie?
co-star, oh God, no. Oh, that's kind of a ball buster right there.
Dude, you need a hot chick as a co-star, okay?
Yeah, most definitely. But if it has to be a co-star, it would definitely have to be Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
If you don't know, yeah. Just in case, she is the main star. She's Celine from the Underworld franchise, and she's also all over the place. But Kate Beckinsale was always my favorite if she were to be a female co-star.
Yep, celebrity clause.
Yeah.
Next question. This comes from Corey Nation, who asks, "What's your favorite Disney princess?"
Corey Nation. Oh my God, Corey
wow.
Nation. I feel honored now. Oh my God. Wow.
Corey's freaking
And
awesome.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. I love him to death. And I'm not going to say that we're good friends, but then again, I wish that we were friends. He probably would say that we are good friends, but that's only because him and I, we only talk like on a very rare occasion. So it's considered like, well, we are friends in a way, but we're also more of like acquaintances to where we do small talk. And he enjoys my content. He also enjoys my, Poison Ivy gender bend cosplay. Like, he loves it. He straight up will tell you that. And I would have to say my favorite Disney princess. Oh God. I have one. I have to think for a second. I'm sorry. Leo, what is yours? You can say yours if you know yours. I'm still
Mulan.
thinking. Really?
Mm-hmm. She's a badass.
That's my. They just they just died. Hang on, just 1 second. Can you still hear me though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we can still go on.
Can you
But
still hear everything?
yeah, I can still hear you. It's gonna have to be Merida from Brave.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the next question is going to be from a Mr. Zoom _2028 numbers. It's a very serious question, very long question,
Oh God.
very complicated. Bacon? Question mark.
Duh. Yes. You don't need bacon.
Yes? Question mark.
I heard that question.
Dude, I'm Cuban. I'm Cuban, man. I'm on a first name basis with swine. Are you kidding?
With me, I'm actually not highly picky of what I eat. The only thing that I really don't like is, whole sliced mushrooms, mainly because it feels like it's just a taste of it a little bit. If they're minced and they're tossed into stew or something like that, I really don't care if there's mushrooms in it. I'm not allergic. I just don't like the taste of it as you put it in your mouth, and especially if it's on pizza, and it's just. It's there, it's in your mouth, and you can taste it. And if you push through and it goes down your throat, you're like,
Yeah.
It's like raw tomatoes and tomato sauce.
No, that's like onions for me.
Yeah,
I get that.
but yeah, I do. As for bacon, though, the only wrong way to make bacon is if you fully burn it. Okay, there's like a specific way that you have to cook bacon because. Yeah, because like if it's crunchy enough, awesome. But if it's not crunchy enough and it feels thin, then it's like this is not even bacon. This is just like a strip of fat that you just fucking put it right there on the pan, and you're like, what the? Oh god.
It's gotta be a little chewy. Come on, everybody likes a little chewy in their bacon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So it is now. I keep on wanting to go like this because I'm so used to just being like, all heavenly voice.
What is the hardest thing about creating your characters? What's the hardest thing when you're trying to create a character?
The hardest thing is to come up with something that hasn't already been thought of before. I wouldn't say plagiarism in a way, sort of, kind of in a way, but to make it seem like that it sticks out. Yeah, exactly. It's very,
Which is
very
really
hard because
hard.
everything that, yeah, it's already been thought of, and you're trying to make something that completely stick out. That's why I stick with something that has not been thought of before, like Apophis, for example. How many people do you know that focuses on the idea of Apophis, the Egyptian god of chaos? Not a lot of people, because they're all focused on either Bos or Bastet or Anubis, or sometimes Ra or
Set?
Yeah. All of those. They're all focused on that because they're mostly brought up first on the hieroglyphics. But then you don't see this giant serpent that's swimming in the bottom of the Nile try to attack Ra, and try to rid of the sun so that way it can take over the entire world and rid of it of chaos. Nobody's ever thought of that before,
Yeah, my character, I think my original character has to be Valak. And when I created him, I wanted to create something like almost like a genie in a lamp, like a djinn. And he was tough. I wanted something as original as possible. I mean, obviously people do genies, but he comes out of a staff. He's got his own underworld inside that staff, kind of like a genie would. But I wanted him to be a little more slick, a little bit more evil and menacing, and a little contemporary. So that's why I gave him the look, the fedora, but I also saw how people were playing with the black makeup and the smears and all that darkness. So I gave him a little bit of that TikTok glare, like everybody's kind of trying to, this look, I can't even describe it more. It's just the black smears is what everybody was kind of going for. And coming up with something original, I wanted to cover up his eyes, which I've only shown his eyes one time in any video. So I gave him goggles, and I think just creating him in general was really, really tough. To stay original. Like even when I was talking to Shannon one day, I was like, dude, I need an idea, like what the hell? And he challenged me. He's like, make a clown. Good luck. Make a clown. And I was like, okay, a clown, really? That's tough as hell. So that's what he and I were exchanging. We were exchanging, sketches and things like that. And we came up with the concept of Rhino. And I can go and honestly feel and say that there's nothing that looks like Rhino, just like there's nothing really that looks like Hawk out there. They're two definitely original characters. And Chen and I sat down and came up with the idea of a backstory of Rhino being the bounty hunter that's after Hawk. And I have to say that we were really blessed, well received, and hell, Shannon, somebody even animated us on that WWE game, and that was pretty damn cool. So it was pretty neat seeing people enjoy the characters, but it's tough. Finding a character that fits, that you can portray and look really good in. I think that's part of the challenge as well. I mean, anybody can put something on and run with it, but to own it and to become that character and engulf yourself into that backstory and that persona, saying the most ridiculous lines you can find on TikTok, it can be challenging.
I do believe so. We're already at 30 minutes, so I have to show the videos because there's just one or two of them, just one or two.
Oh boy.
So let me just pop those open really quickly. Yeah, just like 1, 2, 12 or more.
One of the first ones I sent you, I literally just uploaded it to TikTok. It's kind of a compilation, and it's got just a hint. It's got a little bit of new footage that's coming. I've already recorded and saved some new Papyrus videos, and Shannon's going to be doing his Sans thing, and we're going to finish the Undertale universe. And Shannon has been gracious enough to want to do a compilation and put a video together so we can throw it up on YouTube and Instagram. So it's kind of like our final hoorah and goodbye to those two characters, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not putting 3.5 hours worth of makeup back on this mug. Ain't happening. Shannon saw the afterwards. Shannon saw me after I took the makeup off. I sent him a photo. It was pretty bad.
Just like burn it all.
Yeah,
like
no, that experience. Yeah.
And Lady Strange is over here laughing by the way.
Yeah, doing cosmetic work, especially when I'm doing drag, is just as bad, because doing layers upon layers of makeup, especially when having to block my brows and everything like that, it is just as bad. So I do not envy any of that torture.
Oh God! It was like an hour in the shower taking it off too.
I just do basic face paint.
Yeah, no.
God, I can't even do basic. Okay, so now we're all gonna be seeing our own faces, and they should be in the order that you sent them, unless Skype fucked up, which is also a possibility.
You know, I don't know about Shannon, but yeah, you know, you can show some of the Undertale stuff, of course. You know, welcome to the underground, but you know, show some of the stuff that Shannon and I have done outside of, you know, the Undertale universe, in case people don't know. We have duetted each other in other cosplays.
Oh no! Don't worry. I'm gonna like pick through the Undertale and mainly do the other ones because if you're watching this, you've seen the Undertale ones. You don't need to go over them again. So I'll just do like the first two of these.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Ready for this, Sans?
I don't think anybody could be prepared for this.
Shut up, Sans! You just can't understand perfection! Attention, monsters! My name is Papyrus. I'm a skeleton made with magic bolt and lots of cool.
Thank you for not singing along.
Ravioli, give me the formuoli!
What happened to spaghetti?
Oh, I still like spaghetti, of course. I would never betray it. It's hard to rhyme stuff with spaghetti.
Spaghetti confetti.
Naturally. Looks like we're going to play the capturing game, then. So be it. Nothing a future royal guardsman can't handle.
The kid left.
What?
I'll just show the first two, and then we'll go on to the other ones, just so they can get a small taste of the insanity.
There's no audio on that one. I don't hear it.
Oh, that means Skype has fucked up. Yep, your sound has stopped sharing due to an unexpected error. That means I must restart that part. Yippee!
I don't know about you, Shannon, but it still gets weird watching videos with you know, you with like yourself in it.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go on to the other.
Daniel, hi. Could you make me a woman? Honey, I'm so happy.
Oh my god.
I've seen
I
most of
remember
your guys'
that.
videos.
And it was
I've
like,
never
dude, you
seen
gotta
that
do this.
one.
You gotta do this in drag.
Leo, I have a question for Leo. Where the hell did you get that wig? Like, is that
Oh, my-
a legit wig?
That's my daughter. Yeah, that's a legit wig. It's here. That's my daughter's wig. I look good in pink. I look good in
Hell yeah, you do.
I've seen at least 98% of your guys' content. I've never seen that video.
That's a gem. That's a gem. Actually, I'm gonna say you have one of my favorite videos that I've ever done with Shannon, and that's the one where it's the vampire. It's I think it's the only one I sent you that I'm the vampire in, and you were, what was the character in that one, Shannon? You were, was it Doc Shock? I think it was Doc Shock, and it was the one from Moulin Rouge.
Yes, it was Doc Shock, yes.
It was Doc Shock. And I'm going to tell you what, he is such a great choreographer. No joke, that video, I must have spent an hour and a half learning what he did in every single one of those damn frames to mimic his movements on 3 times speed. And I'm going to tell you what, you want a good workout, try to do one of his videos, because holy crap, I was exhausted. I almost gave up. I was like, fuck this. And but I mustered through it. And I freaking did it. And it has to be still one of my favorite videos that I ever duetted outside of the Undertale universe.
Yeah. That audio that I did with the Moulin Rouge, it was originally meant for Vex Sammy's character, Elixa, because there was a pairing up there with Elixa and Doc Shock. And then everybody else, wanted to, duet with it. Savvy. Savvy Mischief, she duet that with Amora, her OC. Everybody else did it. Even Dean Hassel, verified Dean Hassel, and a lot of others have duetted, and it just became extremely popular, along with my other custom audios. And that's another thing that I like. If I'm not editing videos, most definitely with audios that have been up on TikTok, I'm definitely making my own audios, because I have several programs to mess with, extract audios, chop them up into pieces just to make them funny. Especially with that one with the, sipping on a monster, that ping, and you're like, pig fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. That was me.
Yeah, even
That was
Toby did
mine.
that one. I was like, everybody and their brother did that freaking audio. Show that if you have it, if you can show it. Show that Doc Shock, the Moulin Rouge one. I think I sent it to you.
Let's see if we can find it, because as you can see, it's
Scroll
just
down.
3 and then 5, all in this one little group.
Hit that group one.
I'll hit the group and we'll just go through the
That's
group.
it. No, that's
You
not
know,
it.
I absolutely love you, right?
That's
I'm a
valid.
fictional character.
Yeah,
Oh, I think-
and you're my favorite individual in the world. I'm flattered, but I feel it's important to stress I'm not real. Just shut your beautiful, precious...
There it is.
And in the end, should someone die?
I had to turn my computer down half.
Well, you could put that on one of the links or something. But that's it right there. That was so much fun.
It looked hilarious.
Yeah.
It was all a lie. There's nothing wrong with you. Nice of you to say, but you of all people should know there's plenty wrong with me.
Oh, the corrupted one. Oh, I remember those. That was a fun time.
Yeah, that was definitely a series that I was wanting to put together that just never took place, because I kind of lost the sense of direction onto doing it, just like with the whole storyline with the Prism. It's one of those projects that I've have lined up that had motivation and direction, but then it just kind of stopped at a dead, because it's like it raises so many questions. it kept branching out to one direction to the other, and that's what happens when you have an overthinking mind, and then you just say, okay, I'm gonna put this on table and
I know how that feels.
We'll show one more video, and then we'll go on to the rest of the questions because it got shared. So just gonna do this quick little edit really quickly.
Oh, jeez.
I'm busy spoiling myself.
You're stuck in the under.
That is all Channing. All Channing. Shannon, thank you. That we became so many memes after that one.
That was the.
That
my
was
God.
That was the one.
Oh.
I had that in mind because it was available on YouTube. Like somebody edited on there with the whole door opening, and there was a green screen there, and I found out that there was a feature to use chroma key on this app, a Power Director and everything, and I thought, oh my God. So then I decided to edit that. I sent it to Leo, and I thought, I couldn't think of anything more perfect.
I fucking died. I did not expect it. I got that video. I was like, what the hell did he just send me? Because he sent me some weird shit before. And then I watched that one. And I fucking fell out of my chair. Oh my God.
Ooh. Ooh. That's always a fun one to watch. It really is. It really is. Ooh. 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 So the next question. I don't know how to follow that up with. I mean, come on, like, so the next question is coming from a fan on Instagram, a Charlie_Anderson99. What is one thing you regret doing on camera? I'm just gonna edit this a little bit. That does not involve Undertale.
I like how you put that at the end. That does not involve Undertale.
What is the one thing I regret doing on camera?
That isn't Sans.
That isn't. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have anything. I really don't think I have anything because I want to be sure that if I know for a fact that I'm going to be doing it in front of camera, I don't want to regret it because there's a reason why I want to do stuff in front of camera, and it's to be able to capture the moment as well as make sure that everybody else sees it. And if I know for sure that it's not going to end up very great, or if it's not going to end up not popular at all, or if it was a waste of time, it would never be shown at all. So
makes sense.
I don't know if it's a regret, but damn it, man, that drag one I must have caught some shit for the longest time. But it was fun.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Which one of your OCs do you think is the hardest to get into?
Outside of Undertale?
Titania.
Yeah, outside of Undertale. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, outside of Undertale, Titania. Most definitely Titania. My drag persona, my drag OC. Titania is the longest and the hardest because of the fact it's layers upon layers with cosmetics, having to block the eyebrows, having to make sure the the brows that I draw in and everything like that are symmetrical and they're nice and everything like that. What colors to use for the eyeshadow? It's a nightmare and a half. And sometimes whenever I want to do a particular combination with the eyeshadow, sometimes they either don't come out as vibrant or they are not a proper mixture, or you can't see them at all because they're blended in with the rest of it. It's just, yeah. But all in all, that's just how it is sometimes.
I think for me, it would probably be Professor Otto. Otto takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to put them on. It's from the silver paint to the intricate lines to the rust, and then all the gears that are latexed on my face. Then the costume after that. The costume alone probably weighs anywhere between 25 to 30 pounds, plus the makeup, because everything was hand built. I custom built that costume from the ground up. And I can only wear them for about 2 hours. I actually almost fainted one day wearing that costume because I can't breathe. The silver, doesn't allow you to breathe. And then I'm wearing that top hat on top. So I was filming some of the videos one day, and I had to go sit down, and we had to take it all off because I was overheating. So it's a tough, that's a tough costume to wear, and it was a lot of work. And I wish he would have taken off better than the reception he got. One of the biggest comments I had of Otto was that people were scared to duet him. They were just terrified to duet it because it was such an intricate character. And I'm just like, well, Jesus, there you go. Can't put a good character on TikTok. Nobody's gonna want to duet him.
Yeah. So the next question is also going to be coming from a Mr. Zoom _2028. I'm hoping I'm saying the right numbers. It's longer than the last one, but not by much. Again, very serious. Peanut butter ?
Jesus Christ. Zoom, you need to do some grocery shopping, brother. Holy crap.
We'll tell him that.
How about bacon covered?
Reminds me, I need milk.
Peanut butter covered bacon.
He needs some milk ?
Yeah, no kidding.
Well,
Just yes, there. Yes, peanut butter. Crunchy.
Yeah.
awesome. And Scar.
Next question comes. That is from Kermit Sam. Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Hey! I haven't heard from Kermit in a long time. Oh man, God, I need to get back in touch with him. And what came first? My thought would be it would have to be the egg, because you can't have the egg in order to get to the chicken, and then as it follows through. That's just in my opinion, though.
My question is, what the hell had sex with what to make a hard little thing pop out of a vagina? I mean, that's just the weird thing for me. I don't give a shit. I make an omelet with whatever egg I get. So
Fucking nature.
I just don't give a shit what came first. It's here.
Nature.
Deal with it.
It's here and it's eaten. Ooh.
Who gives a damn what came first?
Yeah, as you can tell, we have some very serious people on the show sometimes. So the next question, while we're on this high, is coming from a Harley F. Quinn.
I love it.
Hey!
Quinn. I was in her live. I kid you not. I was like, Harley fucking Quinn. And she goes, I've never thought of my name that way. That's it. I'm owning it. I'm Harley fucking Quinn.
Harley fucking Quinn. So I have to get in the right mindset for this question. What are those?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I can answer that. Hang on a second.
Oh, Harley.
Yeah.
She has such a she has such a beautiful family. She's so sweet. If you don't know or following Harley F. Quinn, you're wrong. She's freaking amazing. And she is I think she's the original Harley of TikTok.
What are those? They're chicken giblets.
Oh my God.
This is one of those videos that was taken down after, a little while. This has been reported. Hey, baby, how about you take your tits and shake it for me? Are you not entertained?
Oh God, I remember that video.
Yeah.
His boobs have got a box. Look at it.
My booby box.
Spooky. For those really lonely nights. All right, that's it. We need a booby box.
So I work at Walmart and I get a discount card. The first letters is just 6006. I call it boob card.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's fun. That's a fun thing. Woo! I forget how fun it is to have 4 people on the show. Well,
All right. Next question. Who or what was your inspiration to do TikTok Musically in the first place?
Actually, I was on TikTok before it became TikTok.
Mhm.
I was on it when it was Musically. Yeah.
Yeah, not me.
Nothing really inspired me. Yeah, nothing really inspired me whatsoever. I actually just gave it a shot. The reason why it took me so long to actually download Musically in the first place is because I've been seeing a lot of cringe compilations with 12 to 13-year-olds dry humping and dancing and lip syncing to songs that has explicit lyrics. That's about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I thought, I'm not going to condone to any of this. But then as I discovered that there's different other audios that was extracted from films and everything like that, and I was like, oh, so it's not just songs. Okay, then you got my attention. And that's where I found the very first video that I did from long ago. It's this kid with a high-pitched voice that was like the true Sonic fan, and he's like, I've officially made me lose my marbles, and then it transitions over to I remember when I lost my marbles. And then I got to collect them, had some fun with it, and then I just kept making more videos, and that's when I made the transition video where with that bendy rap. And that was going from myself holding up Doc Shock's hat before it was modified, pans over to Doc Shock completely, in cosplay, back and forth and everything like that. And that's where my page blew up overnight, and they all loved that. And I just stuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blame my daughter. My daughter in 2018, it was October of 2018, she came home and she's like, Dad, would you do TikTok with me? And I'm like, is that fucking cringy app thing that I keep seeing all over my Facebook? And she's like, yeah, that. I'm like, oh, Jesus, no. My ex-wife takes the kids to Comic Cons and things like that, so I always never wanted to step on any toes. That was kind of like their thing, even though I do special effects. I was like, that's kind of like your thing with your mom, and I don't want any trouble with that kind of stuff. And she was like, well, it's not really the same thing. They're videos. And I was like, oh, Jesus. So we started practicing and doing a few TikToks. And it really is, my daughter is as big of a star on my page as I am. And God bless her, because she's freaking awesome. And now she has her own TikTok page. And she's doing really well. I think even she's got a video that I think has now even gone over 100,000 views. I mean, she's out there rocking it. And but I definitely blame her for getting me into this. And she's like, Dad, you need an OC. And I'm like, what the fuck is an OC? And she's like, it's an original character. And I'm like, what the hell is that? She goes, you got to make something and dress up. And I'm like, as what? And she goes, well, vampires are popular. So I was like, whatever. So we created my vampire character, and that kind of started taking off, and we had more fun. And all of a sudden we're at 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 followers. And then you had to kind of expand. And then, of course, Sans and Papyrus. And, well, as you know, the rest is kind of history. And here we are.
Yeah.
How time flies.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh. It's crazy to think that it's been a year since you both have been on this. It's weird. Well, we're almost at the time to where it's almost been an hour, so let me just ask one. Well, there's going to be 3 more questions at the end, but I want to ask if either of you have any questions for me, Scar, or about the show, or how it's changed in the year. I'm like I'm up bar for something.
They must be keeping you on your toes. You have a pretty good interview base there that I saw. Congratulations, you guys seem to be really getting a lot of big players from TikTok on, and you guys have really come a long way since the first time I was on. So I'm proud of you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we have more co-hosts instead of just Dennis. And Dennis was half-assed anyway. So we'll go into the final 3 questions. I'll say one, Scar will say one, then I'll say the last one. The first one is, would you ever come back to the show?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Next question is, who would you like to see on the show? Do you have any guest recommendations, anything like that?
Any
Ghoul Bagel.
Yeah, Ghoul Bagel.
Ghoul Bagel.
Yeah, Ghoulie, she definitely she could definitely use some spirits lifted. She actually has been going through a rough time. Didn't read too much into it though, but things are not really going too well from what I've seen. She recently posted on her TikTok though, so she definitely needs some positive encouragement and definitely needs a lot of love. She's definitely a sweetheart, and I love her. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll definitely try to get her on the show. I will definitely tell the
Just send her this clip. Send her this clip of me and Shannon saying, "Ghoul, you need to get on the damn show."
Ole!
But minus my part, because that's not cool. But yeah, I will definitely do that. I won't even delegate it to the scheduler. I will do it.
There you go.
And see, we even sound more professional. We have a scheduler. The final question is, do you have any questions for a future guest?
I haven't really thought of this. Let me see.
I got one for Ghoul Bagel if you get her on the show.
Yeah.
So, Ghoul, I gotta know, how did you take it when you blew up?
Yeah.
That is actually a good question. Yeah, once you reach 1 million. Yeah. All right, and I also got a question. What is the one cosplay that you will not do? And this could be to anybody. Anybody whatsoever. What is the cosplay that you will not do, and why?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm so loud, my voice is echoing off of my can. That's like a good arm's length away. So weird. But I have to say, thank you both for being back on the show. I highly appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Scar, for being here and showing your face.
No problem.
Even though he looks like Sans.
I'll take that as high praise. I'll take that as high praise.
Damn it, somebody out there is going, is this guy trying to beat Shannon? Look at him.
He's already Peter Pale. No. Nah. But
welcome to the underground.
I was waiting for somebody.
Oh, you just stabbed them both. Just oh god. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I highly appreciate it. We all highly appreciate it. And at least I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.